in Highland Games, in Strongman?
Sure. Go ahead. I'll let Zach answer.
This is just a place for anybody that's, that can't get what their workout in a regular gym. We throw stuff, we yell, we grunt, we get psyched up. A lot of functional training in here, a lot of stuff that carries over to all aspects, powerlifting, Highlands Games, CrossFit, whatever you do, you can work on your core lifts here, your essentials, and build from there. That's really what we all do here. There's a lot of different ways to get to where you want to be, and this is the quickest way to do it.
So Zach, you have a master's degree in sports science, right?
Yes.
Can you explain to us why you think this kind of equipment and this approach to training is more functional, and as you said, it's more.
Well, this is all, for the most part, multi-joint stuff, more real-life application. A lot of what we do, it all starts with our core activation, and just there's no better way to replicate that on a machine in a regular gym.
In a guided movement machine,
yeah.
Right?
So we love free weights.
What are the free weights that you like best, that you think are best for example, sports preparation for other sports?
I'm big on loaded carries, front squats, power cleans, stuff like that.
Carries?
Yeah.
Both
carries.
yoke and farmers?
Yoke walks, farmers, stuff like that. Anything that loads up the trunk stability,
So that's why you guys here are not specifically powerlifting or weightlifting. You're also involved in other strength sports, right?
That's correct. A lot of us have wanted to branch out and do other things in the strength sports world. I know Zach's interested in transitioning over to strongman. I am too. I picked up the Highland Games last year. I threw in college and kind of gave it up and went to the powerlifting side of it. And then started throwing again, really enjoyed it, picked it back up, and have dedicated most of my time to that. And that's shifted me from more of the static lifting we were talking about to a lot more of the dynamic stuff, dynamic pulls. Again, loaded carries are huge for anything you want to do.
You told me that in college you also used to be a weightlifter.
That's correct. That's correct.
Did you compete in weightlifting?
I did in high school, and then once I got to college, I specialized in throwing only, and the weightlifting was just kind of an accessory to the throwing.
Okay.
So I put it on the back burner, and I'm actually hoping to hop back into the Olympic weightlifting world in the next year or so. It'll take some time to get the rust off and get the wheels turning again, but hopefully we'll get there.
What about powerlifting?
We've got 9 to 10 people who compete regularly, several times a year in powerlifting. As a matter of fact, I would say at our core, we are a powerlifting gym, and we've kind of just branched out here in the last 6 months or so, maybe adding other things in. But Zach and I both have competed in powerlifting for a few years. We've got more people that are coming up, making a splash in the powerlifting community in the Midwest, and we've got a couple guys with a real bright future in it, and they come in here and put the work in every day, and there's no better place to do it than a place like this,
Yeah, I understand as far as we talked that you cannot accept a bunch of people here because you still have limitations in terms of environment and all.
Correct.
So how do you select your team members? Because you seem to have a bunch of very brainy people and strong people at the same time. You managed to put the two of them together.
Right. You know what? It's really been about the attitude. I don't care if you can deadlift 100 pounds or 1,000 pounds, and nobody else does either. And it's been funny that it's been self-weeding. A lot of people come in and they want to lift, and then they see the atmosphere, and either it's not something they want to take part of, they're comfortable in a commercial gym, and there's no hard feelings, they go back and do the things that they do in the commercial gym, or they just don't fit into the atmosphere. They're not, they don't like the aggression or the atmosphere, or whatever it may be. But it's been self-weeding. It really self-weeding, and we haven't had to do much calling of the herd. We've got a really good group of 12 or 13 people right now that come in at their times. We've got good groups that lift. And to be honest with you, we don't have the space for 25 to 30 people to lift right now. It's a 1,200 square foot garage with an overhead door. But it's our home, and we love it. And where we're lucky to move to a bigger space because we like
Well, you have great equipment here.
Sure, we do. We've got all the equipment we need.
Yeah, take a look, guys. They have bumpers, they have steel plates, they have everything. I mean, what else does a person need?
I agree with you, and we've done it together. Every member owns a little piece of this place. We've all put in blood, sweat, tears,
It's like a car.
money. It is. It's like a co-op, and we're all part of a family. It is a family in here. It's not like you go in and they're your buddy. I mean, we help each other. We go to war for each other. You know, we live together. We do all those things together, and it's been the best experience so far in my life, outside of my actual family, to be a part of this gym.
So, what are your competitive plans now, Dan?
I'm focused on the Highland Games. I've got a couple of pretty big games coming up this weekend. I'm going to Portland to throw with some elite guys, and then in 2 weeks I'm going to Seattle to Enumclaw Games. So those are two pretty big contests. After that, I'll go to Pleasanton, California, and then I've got the IHGF World Qualifiers here in McPherson, Kansas. So it's a big couple months for me in the Highland Games, so that's what I'm really focusing on now.
Yeah, it's a very short period between one and the other.
It is. They're kind of back to back.
How do you handle the recovery?
I come in here a lot, do a lot of blood work, do a lot of lighter stuff just to keep the muscles firing, so there's no moss on the or rust on the bone, so to speak. I've just started to get programming from Phil Stevens up at Strength Guild. We're doing a lot of mobility work, a lot of rolling. I go do ART a couple times a week. I get massages. I just try to keep everything going and loose and moving.
That's a curiosity of mine. Is that a season for Highland Games?
There is. I did one meet in Florida in January, and then I had months off until April. And I believe April 23rd, I opened my season up in Wichita. And I've done about a games a month from that point on. And then later in the summer and the fall is when it really picks up. And it will end in October. Will be my last games until January again, hopefully in Florida.
Would it be correct to suppose that between one competition and the other, you take it lighter because you already have a very high inflammatory load and during the competition?
You're absolutely right. My focus from really February to March has not been weights. I haven't been in here as much as I was before my season. I do sport-specific training. I throw quite a bit. Throwing seems to be a little easier on me, and I can adjust my percentages. I could go out and have a technical day where I throw at 70%, and it's not as hard on me as if I go out and throw 100%, and I'm trying to hit PRs or I'm trying to do this. Leading up to a games, I'll turn the intensity up for a couple weeks and really go out there and hit it hard. And then the week of, which is this week, as you saw, not doing any heavy weights.
I saw it.
I'm doing movements, I'm doing explosion, I'm working hips, joints, and I'll take one more throwing session tomorrow, and I'll probably take 10 throws total in a few events. I'll take 4 throws here, 3 throws here, 4 throws here, pack it up and fly out Thursday, and then do my mobility at the hotel and go throw Saturday. That's what a week looks like.
Get packed inside a small airplane.
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
Yeah, that's horrible for you.
You got it.
And it's very. We're talking about a very tall guy.
You got it.
Zach, as a sports scientist, how would you say this team? How would you characterize your teammates? Are they more strongman type, more weightlifting type, more powerlifting type?
Powerlifting's our core, basically. Everyone here has competed in powerlifting. Just recently, Dan and a few other guys have branched off and found out that they're really pretty good at some other stuff too, and we're all still learning. You never quit learning. We're all finding out what we're the best at, and powerlifting is where you start. That's where it all starts.
The basics, back to the basics. So, I heard you have in your team a lot of people who are already familiar with teaching and coaching.
Correct. We've got Zach, who's got his master's. We've got Mark and Heather, who are actually personal trainers at a commercial gym here in town. And we've got several people who have just been around strength sports for years and years and years. We've got college athletes. Zach was a college athlete. Chad Clausen was a college athlete. Mark Olson was a college athlete. We've got Bree here. She was a college powerlifter at Oklahoma State, just recently graduated. We've got people who have been around sports pretty much their whole lives, and this is getting that competitive outlet at an older age when you're done with college or when you're done with anything. We kind of scratched that itch, so to speak, competitively with powerlifting and extreme sports. And that's what bonded us at first, and then it just grew from there. And like I said, it's turned into a family atmosphere for sure.
So, another curiosity, did you guys get a lot injured along your athletic careers? Do you feel that being together protects you from getting more injured?
Sure. I mean, they happen when you're pushing your body to the limits that people do in these sports. Having said that, per our conversation earlier, when you have somebody look you in the face and tell you that you're being a shit that day and you need to pack it up and go home, you're more apt to listen to them than say you're telling yourself, oh, I can do this. You know, the ego gets in the way, rationality kind of goes out the window. When somebody that you know has your best interests at heart, that cares about you, loves you, tells you, hey, you're going to hurt yourself, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, you tend to listen to them. So absolutely, the atmosphere has helped.
So
Injuries, I think.
a good, loving, and friendly team is a protection against injury.
Absolutely, it is.
That's a nice theme for a PhD thesis, isn't it?
Sure.
Friendship as injury protection. So let's wrap it up. And it was a pleasure being here. I hope to be accepted, because like all families, there's a vote, like all packs of beasts. There has to be a vote to be a member of the pack.
That's right.
So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.